very good morning to all of you, my dear students. Today we are going to start a very interesting chapter, which is allergy. Something or the other, all of us know about allergy. Okay, uh, our relatives, maybe some of allergies are there, which we also have. They kind of feel very strange. They are not typical type of diseases which everyone, let's say, uh, let's say, common cold. Okay, it's a disease. Whenever someone will go through the same conditions, most of them will have it. Okay, let's say diabetes, or let's say myopia, hypermetropia, any other diseases. Okay, whenever, let's say, 100 people go through the same circumstances, if that adverse circumstances, 80 or 90 of them or 75 of them will have it. But allergy is a totally different type of medical condition. In this, there are some very common things which are allergic to some special people. If they face those things, they come in contact with those things, very different type of reaction or something happens in us, in them. So it's very interesting to understand what are the basics of allergy and how does it works. Okay, are you feeling interesting about it? Let's dive into it and explore by ourselves. What is allergy actually? So, have you ever seen this type of continuous sneezing after coming to contact with some dust particles or something to someone? Have you ever seen someone continuously sneezing? I also feel it sometimes. Okay, and this type of eyes, if I'll zoom this picture, you will be able to see that the white portion of the eye becomes swelled. Okay, and continuous sneezing and tears and red eyes. Okay, and a few skin examples like this one, this type of reddish scars or a temporary type of things. This type of things, have you seen them? Do you know what they are? All these things come under a very different type of diseased category, and that category is called allergy. So in this chapter we will explore all the aspects of these type of diseases, allergies, and try our best to explore and make an understanding about allergy. Okay, so that it may help us to live a more healthy life. Okay, first of all, for that, before starting the chapter, there are a few terms, 3 4 terms, which we need to understand. What are those terms? And if we don't understand those 4 terms only, then the whole chapter, or I would say the biology, feels little bit more difficult. Okay, and if we simply see, okay, this means this, okay, 4 3 4 terms, then it feels very secure and easy. So what are those terms? The first term is will be here in a second, and for you to guess, I have pasted this background image. Can you tell me a term which shows all these things? You may say microorganisms. So you are very close. The word is microbes. It's actually a 7-letter word, which is a short form of microorganisms. That word is a rather longer word, so we have came up with this. Okay, microbes. Next, okay, first let me tell you one thing. Microbes, my dear students, are not present only some places, only at some places. Let's say here it is dirty, or some germs may be there. So here could be microbes, and this is a very clean surface. My hand right now is very clean, so it will not have any microbe. Inside my mouth, at least, there will not be. I would not expect microbes to be inside my mouth, right? But it's not the case. Microbes are literally present every single place, everywhere on earth. There is you cannot find out a place where you can say that at this place, at this point, there is no any microbe. They are everywhere in one form of or the other. Okay, so understanding them is very essential, very important for us, because they are living with us. So we must know about them, because we know things, so we must know about them also, na, hai na? Okay, so the very uh, important thing, or the most important thing, is that microbes can cause diseases sometimes. There are certain microbes, when they enter our body, just like the virus which has troubled us the whole year, COVID-19, coronavirus. COVID-19 is a disease and coronavirus is the name of the virus. Okay. And this microbe is, viruses are, let's say, many multiple times smaller than bacteria even. This is a really small thing. Viruses are the smallest living creature, we can say. And that small thing caused so much trouble to the whole world, isn't it? So that means they can't be ignored. They are very uh, influential, or influential is not the right word, but you can understand what I'm trying to say. They are very considerable. They make impact on our lives. Okay, so all those microbes which can cause disease or are harmful to us can be together termed as pathogens. Let's see what's the book's definition. The definition is harmful microorganisms that causes diseases are called pathogens. Simple. All those harmful microorganisms which can cause diseases to us are termed as pathogens. Okay. Okay. Next thing, us, the immunity system. There is a system, my dear students, just like our other organ systems. There is a system. We will not say, and we will not classify the immunity system as an organ system, because in an organ system there are only organs. But here, my dear students, a network of cells, tissues, and organs, all of those work together harmoniously to defend the body against the attack of the microorganisms. Okay, there are some cells, then, excuse me, then tissues, then organs, all of them work together to defend ourselves. When in higher classes, you will come to know how diverse, how sophisticated the mechanism of defense of our body is. Okay, in higher classes, you will come to know that there are multiple levels of defense. Just like in our India, in our country, there is army, then there is BSF, then there is CRPF, then state police. Okay, then scout and guide, security guards. There are layers of defense. Similarly, in our body, there are layers of defense in our immunity system. If someone beats this layer, then we have this one. If some microorganisms beat this also, then we have this one. If this also, then this one. There are multiple layers of defense in our body, and all of them are together termed as immunity system. Okay, we can boost our immunity system by living a more natural life, eating green vegetables, alive foods which are not processed, just the way they are, live foods like fruits, green vegetables, uh, nuts, all those things, milk, ghee. Okay, and uh, waking up early in the morning, doing some exercise for 20 minutes, and living a stress free, relaxed life will boost our immunity a lot. Okay, best way to boost our immunity. Then next word is immunity. Okay, what is immunity? We talked about immunity right now. Immunity is the protection that someone's body gives them against a particular disease. Okay, it's called immunity. So whenever we are immune of something, okay, let's say when there are microbes everywhere, then most of the time they are coming inside us and going out. Okay, when there are microbes in the air also and we are continuously breathing, that means all the time microbes are going in and out. But all of them are not harmful, but many of them are. So it must be that somewhere or the other, whenever we are going or coming or doing anything, some harmful microbes are also going inside our body. All the time they go inside our body, but we have our immunity and it protects us from all those microbes. Okay, and when it fails to protect us, then we get sick. Okay, okay, infectious diseases. So immunity is that the protection which our body gives us with certain diseases. Okay, we are immune. We can say I am immune to polio. Why? Because I have been vaccinated in my childhood, just like all of us. So it's just an example. So just like similarly, we are immune to many other diseases. Okay, so this is immunity, when you are protected, when you are guarded, with your immunity system. Okay, so these are the words, and now in this chapter we will explore energy. Okay, so allergy, if we have to define, it is the hypersensitivity of the human body to certain substances in the environment. Okay, are you getting it? Certain substances, not only any particular kind of microbe, okay, or uh, let's say pathogens, not only any particular kind of pathogen, certain common substances, because our immunity system is so diverse. Okay, and the range of threats which is out there is also very vast. So sometimes our immunity system little bit comprehend a very harmless thing else also as a pathogen. Okay, let's say police police or the army catches the thieves, right? But sometimes, rarely, they also catch some innocent people, na? Rarely, thinking that they are the thieves, and they catch some innocent people. Rarely it happens. In order to protect us, similar things happens with our body also. Sometimes it also, the immunity system is always protecting us from all those. This also we have to protect. This also, the system is working like this only: protect from this, protect from this, remove that, protect from, protect. Sometimes, in order to protect us perfectly, they miss, uh, wrongly miss, I mean, galti say, okay, they to protect us from something which is not harmful. And in that particular case, allergy happens. This is called allergy. How does it happens? What are the different aspects of allergy? Let's explore. So first of all, we will see the concept of allergens. Now, what are allergens? Allergens are all those substances which can cause allergy in us. Simple. Whenever something can cause allergy to us, we will term it as allergen. Okay, so let's see different types of allergens. So there are, first of all, the first category. It is divided in two main categories. First one is food allergens, second one is non-food allergens. Okay, so first let's see what are food allergens. Food allergens, it says that allergens may be food items. Okay, this much we discussed. Examples: peanuts, egg, fish, shellfish. What is a shellfish? It's shellfish. No, it's a shellfish. Okay, shellfish is a fish with a shell. Okay, I will not do that. Let's move further. Wheat and its derivatives. Wheat means uh, the grain which is used to make rotis, chapatis in our house. Okay, and its derivatives. Let's say derivatives of wheat are paratha, uh, and that thekua, all the other staples which we use to make with wheat. Products of wheat, different derivatives of wheat. Soya, soy and its derivatives. Then we have milk. So these are just examples. Okay, there could be many other things which can cause allergy in some particular individuals. At times people are allergic to food additives and food colors also. Okay, so food additives means some things like which we add in food for flavor and spices, flavor and uh, taste, or aroma, some things like that. And then food colors. So it's basically saying whatever the food we are taking in, it may cause allergy to someone. Okay, to particular individuals whose immunity system take that particular substance as threat. Okay, so it's allergy. Cure of food allergy is not possible. Whenever, let's say, if someone have allergy with milk, if he or she will drink milk, her mouth will become swollen, stomach will be irritated, some other uh, digestive issues will happen, or something will happen, rashes may happen on the skins and all. Okay, but if someone have a food allergy and he is aware of that, it's uncurable, and a person who is allergic to food items should consciously avoid ingesting those food items. Okay, so only way to prevent us from food allergy is to stay away from that food which is causing allergy to your body. Just simple, as simple as that. Okay, sometimes it happens, let's say someone have egg allergy. Okay, and they are going to some shop, buying some cake and eating it, and unknowingly they ingested some egg in that cake, then they will have to suffer from allergic reactions. There are medicines in the shop, very easily available. I will not tell the name, but there are medicines. And in case of certain allergic conditions, if you will take a simple medicine, it helps, it cures. But the situation could be very dangerous. Medical conditions, simple allergies can be treated, the effects can be reduced little bit for time being, but for whenever if you will take again, then again it will happen, it can't be cured. Okay. Okay, now let's see what are non-food allergens. Okay, so non-food allergens are, there are many varieties of non-food allergens that may trigger allergic reaction in a person. Okay. Okay, what are those? People are often allergic to certain drugs and medicines. Okay, often medicines contain sulfur, or the drug penicillin causes allergy. Have you ever seen in movies, at least, I hope you have not gone through that condition, but in movies at least, whenever some person goes to a hospital, and that's a really good hospital, if they are trying to show in the movie that it's a really good hospital, then the doctor asks that allergy section is there in the form. Okay, that what are you allergic of? Okay, like that they ask. And in the medical you know uh, records and all, it is written somewhere. I have seen it in a couple of movies. I'm not sure you have seen it or not, but let's discuss this. There are some medicines which can cause allergy to some particular persons, just like the food. Okay, similar to the food, some medicines also can cause allergy to some persons. Okay. Okay, then there are dusts, mites, soot, fungal spores, and pollen grains also cause allergy. These are small small things now. So all of these things can cause allergy. Whatever thing is um, coming in contact with us, okay, or is going inside our body, can cause allergy to us. As simple as that. Okay, food, let it be food, let it be medicine, let it be dust, let it be some microbe, let it be some, even pollen grains can cause severe allergies. My mother has a allergy of pollen grains. Okay, and it's uncurable also. It's she's just have to prevent her from pollen grains, and it's really tough job to prevent ourselves from something so small which we can't even see, just like the virus. Okay, certain people are allergic to particular perfumes. Okay, and cosmetics and paints also. Okay, aroma of different substances can also lead to allergic reactions. Let's say that inflorescence sticks, agarbatti, which we use to do puja and all, that can also cause allergy to some people. I have seen someone getting so much irritated after get inhaling that agarbatti's dhua smoke. Okay, and the basic concept, my dear students, is whatever is coming in contact with us and going inside us, maybe through our nose or through mouth, they can cause allergic reactions. These are this just a few roadmap to understand what could be those things. Okay, but there could be many more things which can cause reaction, just like these things. Okay. Okay, hair of pet animals. Have you this thought about it? Hair of pet animals such as dogs or cats may also cause allergy to some persons. I have a dog, and his hair don't cause me allergy, but many people can have allergy with pet animals hairs. Okay, now once we have understood that they could be literally anything, then to understand it, then what we understood, nothing, there could be anything. We only can see, okay, this could be, this could be, this could be, this could be, but then what, how to prevent? Okay, let's see it this way. Entry route of allergens. Okay, we can't uh, classify allergens. Okay, although we classified it in two parts, but we the degree of knowledge which we require is not enough by only knowing that okay, everything could be allergens. Let's try something else. Let's try what are the routes, entry routes of allergens in our body, from where they come in. So there are mainly three main routes through which allergens can enter our body. What are those three routes? First one is nose. Allergens in air. Obviously nose, because we inhale air every time, and there is so much things. There are so much things in the air. Okay, so nose is the obvious one. Okay, allergens in air are can enter our body through the nose. The allergens causes asthma and hay fever are breathed in through the nose. Okay, asthma and hay fever we will explore in our next video, next class. But right now, just you can understand that whenever we are inhaling something through our nose, then those things which are causing allergy are entering through our nose. It's simple. The mouth. Similarly, food allergens enter through our mouth or enter our body through the mouth and causes symptoms such as itching and swelling of the tongue, lips, pharynx, and throat. These symptoms together are grouped into a category called oral allergies. Okay, swelling of this area, the starting part of our alimentary canal, if some swelling and itching is happening here, that is called oral allergy. And all those things can happen through mouth whenever some allergens are entering us into our system through mouth. Then we have the skin. Allergens coming in contact with the skin can cause redness, swelling, itching, blisters. Okay, and blisters in Hindi it's called chakatta or something like that. That round thing happens, and uh, it's it's weird. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I have shown the picture. The bottom right picture was uh, very similar to it. These symptoms are called contact derma- dermat- dermatitis. Sorry for the pronunciation. Contact dermatitis are those allergic reactions uh, which happens when our skin comes in contact with those allergens. Okay, and sometimes allergens entering the body through food items may also cause allergic reactions which are visible on the skin, as we have discussed. Okay, the red itchy patches on the skin caused as a result of allergic reactions are called hives. This term is also important. It can come in exams, or you must know what are hives. If someone says I am having hives, then you must know what are they. So they are the red itchy patches on the skin caused as a result of allergic reaction. Okay, okay, now if you have any doubts, join me on Google Classroom, and if you are already here, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to solve all your queries. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video till here.